Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jazz and Sons Dream Matches Woman Warriors show. This is the Mother's Day edition. I am your host, Jazz Vengeance, Jazvengence. The E is for Epic. And I am being joined today by the host of the Squared Circle Cafe, the amazing podcast show that it is, and she is an amazing woman, and she also happens to be a mother, so she will be joining us today on commentary. And she has been part of this show's epic journey, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, please welcome Daria Vengeance.
Hey everybody, what's going on? And now, yee! What the hell did you do? Yee!
So, our opening contest, although this is mostly all a woman's card, and there will be all women on this card, we decided to have some guys who have appreciation for their mothers and Mother's Day to open up the show with a 30-man, over-the-top man battle melee. As we see, the first two people in the ring are Pennywise the Clown and Conor McGregor, UFC champion. This is a random thing. This has all been pretty much ties into Mother's Day. These are people who believe in Mother's Day and so forth. As we see, number 3, of course, is Jazz Vengeance, of course. Of course I'd come out now.
Yeah, you would. Why not? Well, look at the bright side. Rey Mysterio entered at 3 one time, and he won.
So did Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Ric Flair also entered number 3 and went on not only to win the Royal Rumble, but also went on to win the world title at that time as well.
Yep.
As I carefully take my time getting into the ring, which is a very smart thing. If I was a genius like Bobby the Brain Heenan, I would have stayed in the corner, but that's not how I roll.
Yeah, it is.
And of course I'd pick a fight with Conor McGregor first.
Yeah, you would.
As Pennywise just kind of watches. I think, if I was smart, honestly, I think I would probably team up with Conor McGregor to get rid of Pennywise. I think Pennywise is more of a threat than anybody else.
If you were smart, you would have drawn a later number.
Yeah, well, I had no say in the matter, honey. It's all random at this point in time.
Is it now?
It is indeed.
Sometimes I wonder if you actually do things at random and you purposely fix it so that way you come in at certain points.
I have no say in that. As you saw me just randomly put people in the Royal Rumble, you sat there during the backstage journey there. As Jason Voorhees has entered the ring now, folks. Yeah. And he goes after Pennywise. That's probably what I would probably expect to happen. Jason, 1/3 of the Horror Connection, along with Freddy and Chucky, who I think Freddy is in this, but I do not believe Chucky is involved in this extravaganza today.
No, he's not.
He's not a mother's favorite anyway.
No, he's not.
He's every mother's worst nightmare, the toy that talks and kills.
Oh, man.
As Conor McGregor and Pennywise duke it out, Jason and I and myself duke it out, as Tim Curry is about to make his return.
See anyone get eliminated, that's for one thing.
There's 4 guys in the ring. I'm sure something's going to happen eventually. And Tim Curry's going to dance his way to the ring. Yeah, there he is, all in his glory. Tim Curry, ladies and gentlemen. And he walks right into a beautiful back suplex by Jason Voorhees.
Yep, pretty good. Though Jason doesn't seem to be a Rocky Horror Picture Show fan.
No, he just kind of told him to sit over there and shut up, basically, without having to say anything. Well, Jason doesn't talk. As Tim Curry makes the cheeks a cheap shot on me, which, by the way, there's your elimination.
McGregor's gone.
Conor McGregor, our first person eliminated in this. Sorry, Conor. And now we have the countdown. And the next person is going to be coming out eventually. As I try to eliminate Pennywise there to no avail. As Meatloaf will be entering the ring. It might be interesting to see what happens when Meatloaf comes in there with Tim Curry, if that even happens. And to see what kind of relationship we'll get out of that. If any. I think Meatloaf has a little bit of a gripe with Tim Curry. Since the last time they're together, I don't think it worked out so well. As I do beautiful T-bone suplex for me, courtesy of me, to one Pennywise the Clown.
Yeah, I've seen better.
As Meatloaf, my hero, is now assaulting me.
Never meet your heroes, folks.
I guess not. As
Nope, almost got him there.
Meatloaf is almost eliminated by Pennywise the
You're
Clown.
just standing there. You're trying not to help your hero.
I'm smart. I stay out of it. Bobby the Brain Heenan had a great strategy back in the day. Stay in the corner, don't get involved, and you last long. And you know what? That's a good point. I would probably do the same thing, but unfortunately, I'm not wired that way, so I get right in the middle of things. As I just got busted open by Jason Voorhees. Thank you very much.
Driver.
And a back body drop. I think my time is numbered right now, folks. Although, you never know. As I just saw Vin Diesel, who's just come into the ring, has just almost pulled a Bushwhacker Luke and went down the other side of the ring.
You almost went.
And Meatloaf is gone, folks. Dude, you didn't even see who eliminated him. Was it Pennywise?
Look that way.
As I give a back body drop to back suplex to one Tim Curry. And a nice kick to the face for good measure. As Meatloaf is trying to get rid of Jason, who I think would probably be his threat in this rumble, this melee rather.
So far.
But I mean, there were other threats as well. So
yeah, exactly. So we get to see
as Pennywise just uses Jason Voorhees as a weapon himself, and Tim Curry's gone, folks, courtesy of me. I told him not to make me bleed.
Open.
I am busted open. That was courtesy of one Jason Voorhees, who is no longer part of it. Karma's a bitch.
And he's gone.
And now Jason is gone.
Now it's down to you two.
Now it is back to me and Pennywise.
Yep, one big fat clown. And then there's Pennywise.
Ha, very funny. As I tried to eliminate him there, and that did not.
He just refuses to go.
As do I hope.
Yep.
As Tom Cruise is making his way to the ring, folks, and there he is. Straight from Top Gun right to your screen, folks.
Actually, that's more his Vanilla Sky outfit.
Yeah, that too. Does both. He's Tom Cruise. He can pretty much does whatever he wants. Had there been a couch at ringside, he'd probably jump up and down on it, but
I guess.
As Pennywise is kind of doing his thing, and I'm doing the smart thing by just saying, see you later, I'll just watch. But there's my kidney shot for the Pennywise, because I can only stand so much. And another beautiful back suplex by myself, as Tom Cruise turns his attention onto me, of all people. Uh-oh.
Of course you would.
Aha, Tom, you didn't get me there, unfortunately. As Shaggy Two Dope from the Insane Clown Posse is about to join the mix. Everyone's favorite juggalo, folks.
One of them.
One of two. The other one is to make his return. As Tom Cruise and me are duking out, Pennywise... Isn't that funny, honey? The two clowns are duking it out.
Yep. Trying to see who's the tougher one.
This is true. Well, I think Pennywise has the size advantage on Shaggy Two Dope.
Yeah, but Shaggy Two Dope has more experience. He is a licensed wrestler out of Detroit, Michigan.
This is true. Also part of the promoter of the JCW. Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
Shaggy Two Dope and Violent J met?
Why don't you tell us, honey?
Story?
Why don't you tell us, honey?
The story is the two of them actually met at, of all places, a WWE show.
Not surprising.
And Pennywise and you are gone!
That is unfortunate, folks.
There you are, bleeding out of the forehead. Two clowns are gone. Speaking of which...
Speaking of a clown...
There goes Violent J right now.
Now, I was going to wonder if you're going to get a double team here, which looks like the case. As, the clowns are double teaming Tom Cruise.
Yeah, the story goes that the two of them did meet at a WWE show, exchanged numbers, and started hanging out. Eventually realized their love of rap music, and started the Insane Clown Posse, who ironically enough got signed with the WWE about 10 years later as part of
The Odysseys.
The Oddities.
I remember this.
Because everyone remembers that song that they performed for them. But according to them, their experience with the WWE wasn't exactly pleasant, since they, after all, they weren't technically wrestlers, they were rappers. And Star-Lord enters the mix.
Star Wars come to the ring.
Star-Lord.
Yes, I said this.
You said Star Wars.
Star-Lord, I say. Star-Lord has entered the ring, and he goes after... Shaggy just eliminated his own partner. How about that? A little bit of demolition trivia right there.
Well, it is every man for himself.
It is every man for himself, so friends are no longer in the mix for this one.
And trivia he's referring to is the fact of the Royal Rumble 1989, where Demolition, Axe, and Smash drew 1 and 2.
and had at it for the first few minutes of the match.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember who won that Royal Rumble, honey?
89?
Yes.
Hogan.
Was it Hogan? Or was it Aunt Big John Studd?
No, Big John Studd, I think, won the first one.
No, the first one was run by Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh, no, you're right. It was Big John Studd, because Hogan won the 90 Rumble.
Aha. And as Rocky Balboa goes right to work on Star-Lord, Tom Cruise and Shaggy Two Dope are duking it out on the other side of the ring.
Yep, and he almost got eliminated.
He did almost.
Not quite, though.
As Shaggy tries again.
He's doing a Shawn Michaels there. Gets himself back in.
He missed an elbow drop there. That could have cost him right there, Shaggy Two Dope. Shaggy Two Dope's been in there for a little while, huh?
Yes, he has.
Not bad for a guy who's a rapper.
Rocky taking the number on Star-Lord here.
Yep. You gotta wonder if, Rocky was to hit him one good shot, if he'd knock him out. But then the question is if he knocks him out, what good that do when you have to get him over the top rope?
Well, that's true.
As Sub-Zero, Mortal Kombat legend, has entered the ring.
Star-Lord, there he goes.
Speaking of which,
well,
there he goes.
Well, to complain about his movie is the #1 movie right now, so.
True.
Those are referring to Avengers Infinity Wars.
Correct. He's won.
Sub-Zero almost getting Shaggy.
Two Dope. Almost. Not quite.
No, not quite. Tom Cruise, same thing, not quite. Almost getting there.
Uh-oh.
Looks almost like a boobplex right there.
Sub-Zero is not just winning out. Is going right after Rocky Balboa, but he just leaves them. Is that a smart move?
Well, you gotta try to tire.
As he just throws guys in each corner. Uh-oh. He's trying to get rid of Shaggy Two Dope.
Lighter to get rid of.
It's probably smart. Now you gotta wonder what kind of a partnership we'll see out of Sub-Zero and Scorpion, as they are the tag team better known as Fire and Ice.
And Shaggy is gone. G-O-N-E, gone.
The JCW ICP is G-O-N-E.
Yep. B-O-O-H-O-O.
That's too bad. As we thought that maybe Sub-Zero and Scorpion were going to team up on Rocky Balboa, maybe, but instead, maybe the partners know what kind of a threat each other are and they want to get rid of each other. Maybe they think nobody else can get rid of the other.
Probably not.
And Rocky was foolish enough to get in the mix of things.
Oh, no, there they go.
If Rocky was smart, he'd just stay out of it and just wait for his moment and just throw them both over, if he could.
Probably, but
they do have the side. Oh, no.
Masked man entering the ring, and that is Reptile.
As Reptile is now in the mix, folks, at 15. That means we're halfway there, folks. As Reptile goes.
Rocky is gone. So
Rocky's gone.
We pretty much have the MK character sitting in there.
That's it. That's all you got. And this is kind of impressive.
Might.
Get over here is what
Who
my
right
hair.
now is watching this and not having that theme song run through their head? If you don't, you're a liar.
Not to mention, you might be waiting for, Liu
It is one of the
Kang.
most recognizable theme songs in video game history. Everyone knows it. You hear it. You just know exactly what's going to happen.
It's not surprising that Sub-Zero Reptile and Scorpion are trying to gang up on Reptile since they are opposite sides of the spectrum. Since Reptile is not part of their extravaganza. The Punisher is about to come into the ring. A Punisher is a guy who doesn't care who you are. Regardless if he has a partner or not, who I don't believe his partner is in this battle, is in this melee, so he is on his own. He is on his own, folks.
Sometimes you just have to be.
But that's
Punisher usually is alone anyway.
That's true. That's what I was going to say, and that works to Punisher's ability, as Scorpion has eliminated Sub-Zero.
Bye-bye.
And the Punisher is an individual, like we said, that can go by himself plenty of times because he kind of does do his own thing, and he prefers it that way. He drinks alone, fights alone, and who knows what else alone.
Yeah, who knows what else alone.
Anywho. So, Punisher right now is,
Got someone else coming in now. Who we got here? Pee Wee Herman. Boy, this is an odd combination right here.
So, in a second, you're going to have Reptile, Scorpion, Punisher, and Pee Wee Herman, who enters the mix, and he goes right after the Punisher. Now, if you thought that Pee Wee Herman was just going to come in the ring, dance around a little bit, maybe run out the other side, maybe do the tequila dance, then you haven't watched our show before. Because if you've watched Jazz and Sons rematches, you would know Pee Wee Herman is actually quite a very ferocious competitor in Jazz's dream matches, which are just partnering up. This is the only time you'll see men involved in this, other than the mixed tag team match later on this afternoon, as Scorpion has now eliminated Reptile as well. Apparently, Scorpion doesn't want any of the Mortal Kombat guys in there. He's eliminated both.
Still got one in there.
Number 18, honey, Finn Balor.
Finn Balor, nice.
As Pee Wee Herman,
Finn, though, or
it is human Finn.
it's human Finn.
It is human Finn, and as Pee Wee Herman has been eliminated by the Punisher, who makes quick work of him, but Scorpion just makes quick work of the Punisher, which means now it is down to Finn Balor and Scorpion. How about that match, honey?
Almost ironic. I almost put on a Finn Balor shirt today, but I wore one yesterday, so I guess that counts. Boy,
he missed. That might cost him right there. It was someone like Finn Balor. You can't really afford to make a mistake, and if you miss kicks, he'll make you pay for it.
Yep, as Finn tries.
Finn's trying, and we're at 3-2-1. As Finn has gotten rid of Scorpion, but he might not want to celebrate too long, because the Samoan submission machine is about to make his return. Make his enter in the ring. And
this is a dream match for many, especially those outside the NXT world.
As Samoa Joe and Finn Balor are getting it on right here, and Samoa Joe's not lighting up. If you think Samoa Joe is just going to come in, shake his hand, and wait patiently for the next person, you are wrong.
Nope.
Samoa Joe is kind of like that of the Punisher, where he doesn't care who you are or what you do. He'll just go in there, whoop your ass, and walk away. Maybe choke you out in the meantime.
Yeah,
as he's trying to get rid of the Finn Balor.
Choking him out while he's doing it, too. Oh,
and
man.
He's gone, folks. Finn Balor has been eliminated by one Samoa Joe.
There goes my favorite Irishman.
Well, here comes another. How about a Scottishman, honey?
Oh, there we go. This I can live with. Oh, yeah.
And he goes right after Samoa Joe. No fear on Roddy Piper.
No fear at all. Although, Roddy Piper's going to have a few things to teach this guy. Old school meets new school.
Very old school. And this is unfortunately a match we will not have in real life, but on this show, we can make it happen. And we are watching it right now.
Oh, yeah, we are. Look at that. But almost right there. Now, okay, so, yeah!
Roddy Piper has eliminated one Samoa Joe.
Bye-bye.
He's not going to get to rust too long, though, as we have another legend coming in there. At number 21, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, yes.
He is a common man that wasn't so common.
Yep, but he was one of the best we had.
As he's lighting up Piper, but Piper takes it right back to him. Rake of the eyes. I don't think anybody who's not surprised by that, if you've ever seen Roddy Piper wrestle. You should expect that. As Dusty Rhodes says, I don't think so.
No, Dusty Rhodes not going to take this lying down. There's one thing about the common man is that they never stay down. They always get back up.
And Dusty Rhodes now working on the leg, perhaps. Yep, there he goes. Nice leg breaker.
We're going to bottom half, the top.
You gotta wonder who the third wheel is going to be in this type of thing. I would love to see this match in person. I'd love to see this as a one-on-one, but in this thing,
got it. Almost had it.
As Dean Ambrose has entered at number 22.
Oh no!
But Piper has gotten rid of Dusty. Sorry, Dusty.
And here comes Dean.
As Dean Ambrose, very new school versus very old school.
Oh, there was a time where Dean Ambrose almost did mix it up with Roddy Piper when members of the Shield were on Piper's pit.
That's correct. As Dean Ambrose almost gets eliminated by the leader, the host of the Piper's Pit. Not as good as the Fitness Center or the House of Vengeance or Jazz and Sons rematches, but hey, they didn't have YouTube back then.
Cheap pop. Notice how he threw that in, folks.
Had to do so. As another person is going to come in and die. I think Piper's gone, courtesy of one Dean Ambrose. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Well, honey, two of your favorites are about to duke it out.
This is one of my dream matches.
And now you get one.
Man.
If only temporary. We're going to see these two duke it out right now. Got to wonder, will either one of these guys go Can Shawn Michaels eliminate Dean Ambrose? Can Dean Ambrose eliminate Shawn Michaels? Or is the third person going to be the deciding factor in this?
It's going to be tough to say. I mean, both of them...
Beautiful swinging neck breaker right there by Dean Ambrose. Shawn Michaels is... he's been through hell, this guy, but we'll see. Oh, DDT right there. I don't mind the fact that Dean Ambrose had taken my move, the deep fried Oreo driver, and made it famous, but...
Yeah.
It was very nice. Now, there's your third wheel.
Here we go.
The third wheel is the 16-time world champion, Ric Flair. As Dean just almost gets eliminated by Shawn. What will we see here now with Ric Flair, who's won a Melee before in his time, as we mentioned him earlier.
As both of them team up.
As they're trying to get rid of Dean. Maybe they both see that, there is a sense of respect between Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. And here we see it again, and Dean's gone. Sorry, Dean. Back to the asylum.
Oh, well. At least, he lasted a pretty good long time. At least I got to see a little of my dream.
Now you have to wonder.
Now we have the WrestleMania 24 main event going on right now.
Indeed. Indeed we do. You got to see will Ric Flair get some revenge right here. Or will Shawn Michaels repeat as... Another third wheel is going to introduce on this, and
one of which has a history with Ric Flair.
He does indeed, and I would love to see with Shawn Michaels at some point too someday, but that won't happen either. But here we go, and he waited his moment, and he let Ric Flair know he was there.
Of course he did.
Double chops, but Shawn Michaels interferes. Maybe he wants Ric Flair to himself.
Well, this is definitely a Legends match worth waiting for. Can you imagine what would happen to these three in their prime?
This is impressive right here.
Hard to top this one.
Back suplex. Nope, inverted atomic drop, and Ricky Steamboat's gone, courtesy of Shawn Michaels.
Yes, he is.
Well, they don't call him the Heartbreak Kid for nothing, folks, because if you wanted Ricky Steamboat to win, you just got your heart broke. But, speaking of heartbreaking and ball busting, guess who's here?
Wow.
Everyone's favorite demon. From Death Valley.
No. Get it straight. He is the Phenom. We already saw the demon earlier with Finn Balor.
There's only one original Phenom in the original evil, and that is one Undertaker. If Finn Balor would like to have claim to the fame of the demon, then I think he has to take that up with one Undertaker.
That's just it. The Undertaker was never a demon. It was never determined what the Undertaker was. We just knew he was a dead man. But it was never. He was never told he was a warlock. He was never told he was a wizard. He was never told anything. Just that he was the weaver of nightmares. Power of darkness. Oh Lord!
And now you're gonna get it, honey. Three of your favorites in one match, honey. Who are you liking right now?
Oh, I don't
and
know.
where are we at anyway? I even lost 27. That means there's only two guys left. Three guys left, right? Sorry, you got caught up in the action.
And it should be known that number 27 has been a lucky number for some participants.
Well, the Warrior has now been eliminated. I think someone else got eliminated on the other side. No, now he's eliminated. As it's back to Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair, folks, and there's only three guys left in this. So the question is who haven't we seen yet to make their return, to make their debut in this?
I think a couple of more original characters might have yet to come out.
The Dream Matches roster, and there you go. As number 28 is Freddy Krueger of the Horror Connection. His partner earlier did not do so well, but he's going to go get in there with Ric Flair, and Shawn Michaels is Fred Krueger. Here we go.
Oh yeah.
And I think Shawn Michaels does not want any part of Freddy in this match.
No, I don't think so either.
I think if Ric Flair was smart, he would probably help Shawn Michaels, but yeah. The
would have been nice if the Undertaker stayed Weaver of Nightmares versus the man who in your nightmares. So.
The worst nightmare.
Yeah. I think that would have been funny.
You never know.
Yeah,
On Dream Matches, you may actually see that someday.
We'll see. We got one more. We got two more, I think.
Two more entries. One of them is Daryl Dixon, who, by the way, if you've been following and watching these Dream Matches, you know Daryl Dixon has already won quite a couple of these melees. and he's coming in at 29. I'd have to say I like his chances here, but you never know when it happens. As Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels are still duking out with each other, and of course Fred and Daryl, who are familiar with each other. Ric Flair's
there goes HBK.
The dirtiest player in the game, is just taken revenge on the guy who put him out of action.
Yep.
By eliminating him from action. As both
better be careful.
And now we have the last person coming in now, I believe, is number 30, and that person is
Bruce Lee.
Oh, the legend, Bruce Lee.
Some consider one of the greatest action stars of all time.
The fastest man on the planet at one point. One of the best martial artists in the world, who missed a clothesline by Daryl Dixon. Daryl Dixon, I'm sure, is very appreciative of that.
So these pretty much are the final four in this contest.
This is your final four, folks. So one of these four guys will win this. And I you know what? I'm going to have to go on a limb, as Freddie tried to get a limb to Ric Flair. I'm going to have to go on a limb and have to say that my money's on Daryl Dixon, because Daryl has won several of these already. And he has the experience in this factor. He knows how to survive. And Bruce Lee is tough, though, because Bruce Lee can pretty much take it to anybody. As Ric Flair's gone, courtesy of Fred Krueger.
I was kind of thinking it would have been Ric Flair, because I think it would have been funny to have old school beat all the new school guys.
It would be. But I'd like to point out the Dream Matches cast and characters have actually outlasted that of the originals and the actual. And Bruce Lee's gone, folks.
So now we're down to Daryl Dixon and Freddy Krueger.
Well, Miss Daria, who would you expect to win this in this extravaganza?
This guy have a tough one, but I gotta go with my boy Freddy. I mean, Freddy's in the house, so yeah.
I'm going to have to stick to my original person when I saw him come out at 29 and say Daryl Dixon.
Well, of course you would stick with that. It's your favorite show.
One of my favorite shows, but that's beside the point.
The favorite show.
I love all shows, but as far as dream matches go, I am not. I have no judgment in any there. I have no say in the matter. I just find that, Daryl Dixon does pretty well in these melees. He just seems to come in and whoop everyone's ass and kind of laugh about it. As Freddy's gone. Freddy comes back in there, hangs on. Freddy comes down, drop toe hold. I think Daryl's setting him up, I think.
No, maybe Freddy's just playing possum.
You could. This is a nice Stone Cold Stunner right there by Daryl Dixon, or a Diamond Cutter, perhaps.
Nope, just about getting there. Oh, maybe not. Maybe Daryl does have a chance.
Daryl's trying to get rid of Freddy.
We get him up right there. Oh no, he's almost got him.
Almost, and he's gone.
There you go, honey. You got your pick.
Well, it's interesting, because that is it, folks. We have your winner of this opening contest of this Mother's Day spectacular show. And again, a reminder, programming note, this is the only time you will see men involved in this show. This is a special treat for those people. And also, as far as mothers go, I think there are quite a few women who have crushes and may like that of Daryl Dixon. I think a lot of people might have rioted if he didn't win. So that being said, thank you very much for watching the first installment of this. And we'll be right back with you after a word from our sponsors. Thank you.